Today's topic is bound to shake you to your core. We've all heard of the greats Mahatma Gandhi and Winston Churchill, revered for their leadership, achievements, and impact on history. But what if I told you that these men, celebrated as heroes, were racists who harbored a deep hatred for black people? What would be your response? You may be stunned and shake your head to express your non-belief attitude. It's a story that has been hidden for far too long, and it's time to bring it to the forefront. Before we start, remember to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon never to lose any further updates. Without further delay, let's jump into the video. Gandhi. Gandhi is widely known for his philosophy of nonviolent resistance and his fight against British colonialism. However, many people don't know that he held some pretty racist views towards black people. Gandhi's racist views on blacks are not just a product of hearsay. In fact, there have been numerous affirmations that the anti-colonial nationalist was, in fact, racist. South African academics Ashwin Desai and Ghulam Vahid, who spent 7 years exploring the complex story of activists who lived in their country for more than 2 decades and campaigned for the rights of Indian people, released a controversial book detailing his acts of racism in South Africa. While working as a lawyer for Indian immigrants, he also advocated for the segregation of Indian and black people in public facilities. He even wrote in a letter to a colleague that the Indian was being dragged down to the position of the raw kafir. Kafir is a derogatory term for black people. Gandhi's racist act. But Gandhi's racism wasn't just limited to words. In fact, he actively fought against the rights of black people in South Africa. In 1906, he supported a law that required all Indians to be fingerprinted, photographed, and carry a registration certificate with them at all times, a law that did not apply to white people. He even went so far as to organize Indian volunteers to help the British Army fight against the Zulu rebellion in 1906. It wasn't just in South Africa where Gandhi displayed his racism. In his homeland of India, he fought to preserve the caste system that placed Dalits, formerly untouchables. Gandhi believed that the caste system was a divine law and opposed efforts to abolish it. Gandhi's views on race and caste have been criticized by many, including civil rights leader Malcolm X. Winston Churchill. Now let's move on to Winston Churchill, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Churchill is regarded as a hero for leading the country during World War II and standing up to Nazi Germany. However, Churchill was no friend to black people. He held deeply racist views and made no attempt to hide them. In fact, he made several public statements that revealed his disdain for people of color. Churchill also supported chemical weapons against uncivilized tribes, including the Kurds and Afghans, in a memo to the British colonial secretary, which aroused a roar then. It is important to note that Churchill's racism was not limited to his words. He actively supported policies that oppressed people of color, including the forced repatriation of black people from the Caribbean. His devastating actions against race and color. In 1948, the British government introduced the British Nationality Act, which allowed people from the Commonwealth to enter the UK freely. However, Churchill opposed this law and supported repatriating Caribbean immigrants, stating they burdened the UK's economy. During his time as Prime Minister, Churchill oversaw policies that killed millions of Indians. The Bengal famine, which took place in 1943, was a tragedy directly caused by Churchill's callous and discriminatory policies. At the time, India was still under British colonial rule, and Churchill had little regard for the lives of the Indian people. When the famine struck, Churchill and his administration did not alleviate the people's suffering in Bengal. In fact, he actively prevented aid from being sent to the region, resulting in an estimated 3 million deaths. We live in a world where our claimed heroes are more like wolves disguised in sheep's clothing. Behind their generous act, they either exploit the innocents or try to harm the peace just in the name of power and stability. Gandhi and Churchill are the living examples of those characters, and there are more. That's all for today. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below, and we will try to get back to you. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. That's all for today. See you next time.